If you believe a better world starts from within, you're in the right place. Welcome to Hold the Light. I'm Lori Gunning-Grossman, founder of Hold the Light Collective. This is a special series, a guided exploration of the Freedom Transmissions, a spiritual book about building a strong inner foundation so you can show up more authentically in your life and in the world. Let's begin. Clarity, Part 1, pages 210 through 218. Having clarity, like where to go and what to do and how to do it, is something many of us constantly seek. Often, we just want answers. How many times have you said, I just want someone to tell me what to do or which direction to go in? We learn in this chapter that asking for clarity is the request that the divine most often receives from us. This teaching reveals how our relationship with clarity often becomes distorted by our impatience, our unwillingness to look at what is, and our resistance to accepting truths. So here we begin to understand that clarity, true clarity, doesn't come from external validation or future certainty, but from our willingness to be present with what is and to trust in the divine unfolding of our own path. It's like wearing spiritual glasses so that we can see the truth that's right in front of us. And it's having faith that the divine always has our back. This is Clarity, Part 1. To start, we learn through this offering that clarity is always available to us. The truth is always present, just waiting for us to simply see it at any given moment. Even so, though, we tend to search for clarity as a means for validation or reassurance. We want to be sure that our decisions, our relationships, and our lives are on track. We just want that guidance. We want that safety net. However, we learn nothing is assured to us. We're not entitled to it. We discover here that clarity, when it's stitched to the need for validation, is really just a fancy term for wanting to know, as a means of avoiding the discomfort of the unknown. But what we're being called to embrace is that the point of life, the joy of life, is actually not to know everything. Think about this. What if everything in your life was perfectly clear and you knew the entire path ahead of you in advance? Can you imagine if you knew literally everything? As Yeshua says, your life would be utterly boring. Actually, we learned that if this were the case, we would be so light that it would be impossible to be embodied. If we actually had the cheat sheet to all of our soul contracts, we would never learn or evolve. There would be no sparks of wonder because we would miss the thrill of discovery and life's surprises. If we had complete clarity on our lives and knew everything that would happen, well, that would mean that we didn't have free will or choice. So remember in the chapter on the 3 veils and 7 imbalances, we learned that in the origin of our soul's inception, we were seated with consciousness. And through consciousness, we became self-aware. And then we became aware of choice. We realized that we had the choice to be separate from the divine, otherwise known as our free will. And because we wanted this, and we do want this, the divine will never take away our free will. If everything was clear to us, it would be a violation and a disservice to us and our growing and evolving consciousness. So while there are many gifts that come with free will, it also means that we need to accept the unknown. If you're feeling a lack of clarity, we learn through the teachings that it's often because of 3 things. Number 1, you're being impatient with what your soul and spirit is aligning. It's not time yet to be clear because you're in a space of gestation and revelation. But this can be challenging because our impatient minds just want to know right now. Number 2, What you want clarity on is not the thing that the divine and your soul know is the actual thing you need clarity on. For instance, you might be asking for clarity on a career choice, while your soul is trying to realign you with resolving a family issue. So while you're narrowly focused in one area, you're missing what's important and obvious in another area. You're asking for the right thing, but looking in the wrong place for the answer. Number 3, you don't want to accept the truth that's being brought. You want clarity in the form your mind wants instead of what your soul needs. And if truth comes in the form that your mind does not want, like when you don't like the answer or result to something, you may end up doubting the divine's ability or your soul's ability to bring you what you need. Here, we learn that this is a denying of self and a denying of love, and it will keep things unclear. When you deny, nothing can be clear, for you are staring with blind eyes instead of open ones. We do learn that just because the divine brings us the truth, we don't have to act on it right away. But we do need to allow for it, accept it, and work with it, because suddenly more and more will be made clear in extraordinary ways through exploration and allowing. As we talked about mountains and the power of perception in the last chapter, the divine can bring us what we need to move our mountains, but they can't force us to see the truth. For instance, the mountains that we, as a collective, are all facing. We learn that change has come and is coming. Our global structures have become imbalanced, and often we tend to brush the truth aside instead of looking at what's happening on our earth. So we're being asked to open our eyes, to see this with clarity, and to stop abdicating responsibility. As Yeshua says, we have the power within to pluck from the infinite possibilities to catalyze change, big and small. So let's first start with our internal mountains that can end up creating a range of external issues. And speaking of, what's before you right now that you need to look at? Is it time to eat healthier? Time to heal that pain that you've been feeling in your body? Is it time to put down the phone and the constant doom scrolling so that you can have an actual conversation with a person? Is it time to call a family member you've been putting off? Is it time to just simply restore simplicity? One thing to note, as it says in the book, and this is highlighted, you cannot have clarity when you're not in reality. So notice when you're in fantasy versus reality. Where are you spending your time? For example, how often are you getting lost in the Instagram rabbit hole, or living through filtered versions of yourself, or letting technology be your best friend instead of just a tool, or forgetting that real life is happening right here, right now? Many of us are always trying to see tomorrow instead of dealing with today's business. As we become more detached from our spirituality or from our earth, we find ourselves more in a mind-based, self-absorbed way of being where we have shifted from needing clarity to fulfill needs and more toward wanting clarity to fulfill wants. And, of course, we learn this the divine will not serve. But when clear eyes are our need, instead of seeing through eyes of, say, desire, and we are willing to meet the divine halfway in the process of opening them, the divine will bring us clarity. Clarity on the very things we need to move deeper into love and peace. Your soul's true passion isn't about moving mountains to make your life Instagram perfect. It's about shining your light so bright it helps others find their way. So, what to do? Lighten your vibration and simplify your life. You'll have fewer burdens. Then you will go deeper into stability and surrender with less need to control everything. In this state of being, clarity flows. Not only is it easy to see clearly, we are clear. When we spend more time in the present, we learn that the solutions for tomorrow are built slowly and steadily from the love and attention that we give them today. Don't wait for miracles from the divine. Participate in the process. Right now, anything that keeps us from love and joy needs our full and honest attention. We learn that this is what true integrity is all about. Integrity comes from faith, and faith, well, that's the recognition of our own divinity. So, when you're making choices, do it consciously and stick to the simple tenets of truth, love, and compassion, even when your ego tries to tempt you otherwise. The clarity you're seeking isn't something handed to you on a silver platter. It's something you cultivate and nurture from within. It's found in the space between the known and the unknown. And if you are still finding yourself in a spot where things aren't clear, ask yourself, am I willing to give this over? And allow for the truth to be what it is and not what you're trying to will it to be. To wrap all of this up, Yeshua shares, the clarity you truly seek is how to more deeply realize, feel, and serve through that clear embodiment of love, through truth and acceptance. Ask for that clarity, and thy will be done. At the end of this part 1, there is a Yeshua meditation, so listen to that. And then there are 2 questions that Yeshua poses for us to do some writing on. And I'm going to read those directly from the book. They go like this. Number 1, what is clear to you in this moment? Perhaps it is that you doubt if I am real. If I am not, you are not, beloved one. If I am, then you are. Perhaps what is not clear is actually quite clear, but in a way of truth you do not wish to see. That a relationship has gone its course, that you were wrong, that you treated someone with unkindness and need to apologize, that you're mortal, that you are responsible for your issues, not others, that you struggle with forgiveness, that you have an addiction, that it is time to come to peace with something of the past, that it is time to come to peace with who you are instead of the illusion of who you want it to be. Perhaps what is clear is that some old repressed mountains are starting to move. Perhaps what is clear is that you need to rest and relax and let the rest of the burdens go for a spell. What is not clear? What is clear? Are the birds outside not clear in call? Is the clarity of your heartbeat and the feeling of the air touching your skin not clear? And 2, are you willing to be honest and give over what is not clear and allow for the truth to be what it is and not what you are trying to will it to be? Do you have the faith that in giving over the burdens to me, you will know freedom and peace? If not, why? Where is your doubt so persistent? The answer to that is the very source of the burden. And then Yeshua basically says that after you're writing, take a breath and smile for having the authenticity and courage to move into the deeper truth. Here's your focus until the next episode. Read or reread the second half of the Clarity chapter, found in Part 2, the Freedom Transmissions, under Transmission 4, Moving Mountains. This is found on pages 218 through 233. There is a meditation at the end of the chapter, so be sure to listen to that. The recorded meditation can be found in the audiobook at the 23-minute and 22-second mark in the second part of the chapter. In the audiobook, listen to the rest of the Clarity chapter found under Transmission 4, Moving Mountains. All links and information are in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Keep holding the light. If this series is resonating with you, I'd love to stay connected. Visit holdthelightcollective.com to sign up for my weekly newsletter, Build the Light. It's where I share good news for the soul, plus my latest events and offerings. All links are in the show notes. And if this podcast has meant something to you, the most generous thing you can do is share it with someone. Hold the Light is produced by me, Lori Gunning-Grossman, with additional producing and sound design by Jonathan Grossman, who also wrote our original theme music. Until next time, keep holding the light.